question for all of you, everyone. Since we're talking about badasses, and what people don't know is when we started this panel, we all celebrated each other. And so I want to give you guys a chance to pick a character besides yourself that you would love to play within. You can cross universes.
I want to jump in before somebody steals Princess.
Lauren, get in here. Get in, Lauren.
My favorite in so many years on this show, Paola portrays one of my favorite characters we've ever had. Like from, I don't want to play Princess, I just want to watch Princess. You think when you get this far along in something, you're not going to have this like bright, optimistic, happy, new, and she does such a good job.
Yeah.
Like she's so real, she's so funny. The way you fumble and stumble and fall in love and say the wrong thing. Like no, I can't imagine anybody else making it that natural. you are so special. Yeah, I love Princess, and I love
it's a super brave performance, because I don't know if everyone else would agree, but when you have a character that's like that, you have so many colors in your costume is colorful, the character is colorful. So were you unnerved when kind of given the role? Is that just like, I don't know you as a person, but is that you as an individual, or is that
that's a good question,
Julia?
No,
that's a good question.
Yes.
I always say that Princess was like how I was when I was 7. And, you know, I was always in the principal's office, and I was just always getting kicked out of the Girl Scouts. Every Friday we had meetings. Every Friday I was kicked out. And not for being a bully, but because I just spoke, and I was just like, when something wasn't right, I would just say it. And I just stood up for people, and like I was the class clown, of course. So for me, when I got this character, I was like, I just fell in love with her because of how vulnerable she is. And also, you know, that comedy that she has, and the larger than life thing comes from trauma. And that's her defense mechanism. So I definitely have a lot in common with her. I'm much calmer, I think, sometimes. I mean, depends on the night. But yeah, there's a lot in common. Yeah. Thank you, Lauren.
I love you. You're welcome.
I saved this last question for this person last, because the character that I always thought that I could play on The Walking Dead was Princess, because the hair and the pink. And then I saw Paola, and I went back in time and apologized to myself for being so foolish, because there is no one on this planet that could have played Princess better than you. No one. There isn't one.
Thank you so much.
So, honey, I love you. You just killed this role. So how important has it been for you to play not only a strong female character, but a strong Latina woman? And were you intimidated to play such a fan favorite? Because Princess is beloved.
I mean, it's a huge honor to get to play a strong female character, and to have it be a Hispanic character too is huge for me. And, you know, when I got the role, I messaged the writers, because the comic book, originally in the comic book, she's Mexican-American. And, you know, I messaged the writers. I don't know how I got the guts to do it, but I was like, you know what, let me just ask. I was like, hey, let me know if this is out of line, or like, you know, no pressure at all. But I was wondering if we could make this character Puerto Rican, because there's already a Mexican-American character who is fantastic and a super strong, which is Rosita. And I wanted to see if we could represent other Hispanic people. And they thought about it, and they said yes. And I just burst into tears that day, because it was just like a dream come true for me. And it's just a huge honor to be able to play this character. And you know what's great? When I was growing up and I was watching, you know, I grew up in Puerto Rico, but watching TV, you know, if you had a Hispanic character, or like, let's say a Puerto Rican character, most of the time when they had scenes, they were talking about either being Puerto Rican or like stealing something or stuff like that. But, you know, but constantly talking about being Puerto Rican. And what I love about this, I get to play just a character. And yes, she happens to be Puerto Rican, but that's what I love about this universe too. That I don't have to constantly, you know, say that. It just is part of the character. Walking Dead from the get-go, from the comic books, has been super diverse. And that, being a part of that, is something I will always be thankful for.
Yeah. We are wrapping up, but I just wanted to give each of you a chance to quickly shout out any female role models in your own lives that have inspired you to be badass. It could be just a name, a teacher, your mom, it could be anyone. So we're going to wrap it up with this. I think this is a perfect way to end it.
My mom, mommy, who taught me strength and compassion. Boom. That's all I got to say, because she's fire. She just is. Yeah.